What do you reckon? I reckon I might have to shorten that a little bit. Right, well, morning world. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. February the 14th. And TB day for me. All right, only part one. Most of the handling system was put up yesterday. As you can see in here, this is all adjustable that we can work our way around. I gave them a clean bed yesterday and they crapped all over it as usual. So this side is more or less ready to go to do our testing later on. I've still got to sort out next door. And that's going to be just a case of a quick scrape out and a fresh bedding in there. And then later on, it takes about 10 minutes. I've got to set up the gates in there for driving that lorry. It should not take long. I think the biggest problem we're going to have is going to be calves going through the race for the first time, because they don't know what they're doing. It's all scary, it's all noisy, it's all what on earth is going on. So yeah, calves might slow us down. I am hoping and praying that nothing in here decides to drop a calf in the next couple of days, because there's a couple of them that really could, and that would be a problem. Major problem. Right, could you just put your head that way a bit? Just, no, that's the wrong way. Wrong way. Oh, God. Turn round. Good girl. Go on. Go on. Good girls. Go on, forward. Thank you. Right, you lot can stay there. No, out. And you two, come on. There you go. Good chap. And you, go on. Go on, fellas. Right, so while I'm doing this, a couple of things that I'll just mention to you folks. Go on, back up a bit. So one was, I had a message from a lady on Messenger this morning saying, with reference to your issues with copycat folks trying to scam folks, she says, how many Facebook accounts have you actually got? She said, because I keep seeing something from Ian Pullen on Facebook that's shared to your farm, and I don't know if he's real or not. So let me clear this up for you. I do have a couple of Facebook accounts. Facebook was the first social media platform that I ever used, really, although I do remember when it first came out, me trying to encourage my daughters not to do it because I thought it was evil. Not really changed my opinion on that. I still think most social media stuff is a breeding ground for nastiness and evil and dishonesty. Anyway, so I have my own personal Facebook page, which I believe has the thumbnail of myself and Abby in the background. And you'll see on there, if you look how many people I'm friends with, it's like not many, okay? And that's not because I'm a miserable git, it's just that my personal Facebook page, some stuff I put on there is just personal, you know, for people I message personally. They're either family or work colleagues or somebody I interact with a lot. So they are on my personal page. I don't have the need to have 10,000 friends on my Facebook page to prove how popular I am. That's never been what it's been about for me. I'm not in any popularity competition with anybody because, to be honest, I don't really care. So as far as Facebook's concerned, there are three main accounts. That is my personal, there is the Farmer P Bradley Farm page, which is what most of you will probably see, and the tree management page, which is our tree company. There's also an old page which we don't really use anymore, which for some reason Facebook won't let me shut down, which is the old Streamleys golf course page. It's pretty much inactive. Yeah, so there's only 3 pages really, and you guys are only really going to come across 2 of them. That is going to be my personal page, because I've shared stuff from that. And the reason it gets shared from there is I tend to use Instagram for daily updates. So if something happens now, I'll take a picture of it now and it goes on my Instagram and it's kind of instant. And quite often folks will go, oh yeah, we already knew you did that a week ago because we saw it on Instagram. So if you want to know what's happening today, follow my Instagram, because I'll put a picture or a little video or something up of what's happened on the day, and then YouTube will catch up usually about a week later. Usually. So anyway, when I share stuff from my Instagram to my Facebook, it shares to my personal page. It doesn't share to the farm page. So if I want to share it to the farm, I have to go Instagram, which is automatically shared to my personal page, and then I have to share it again to the farm, and that's why. Okay, that's why. Why am I doing that gate? I don't want to do that gate. Yeah. That's why you'll see posts from Ian Pullen. That is me. I do exist. I am real. Do you know what? I mean, stood here talking to you instead of thinking what I'm doing. I don't want to shut them out there. I want to shut them in here. It's early. Should we try that again? Yeah? Come on then. Okay. The other burning question that I know some of you want to ask me. Clarkson's farm. Yes, I've watched the entire series, watched all of it. There were some really good points in there. There were some not so good. I'm pretty sure Health and Safety Police will have an absolute field day with some of the stuff that goes on there, but I think it was honest. Some of it definitely is done for the cameras, okay? And we're all guilty of that. We'll all do stuff for the camera because that's what this is about. This media thing is, there's no point in producing it if nobody wants to watch it, and no one's going to watch it if it's not interesting, engaging, entertaining, educational, if they don't want to watch it, okay? More than once I've reshot a clip because I've messed up, and it's a case of, well, that was really interesting, or that was great, or that was funny. It's never the same second time. You know, it's like cutting his thumb. You can only take that once, can't you? But yeah, so generally, the few things I'll say is, I actually think he's genuinely trying to do this. I actually think he really loves the industry. He loves the stock. He loves the lifestyle. He's trying, okay? He's left it very late, but it's never too late, is it, to try? So, yeah, and I think he's got a good team of people around him, and I think as far as educating lots of you folks that don't have anything to do with agriculture or know much about agriculture, he opens the doors and shows what's behind on a lot of things that some of us either don't think to tell you or don't want to tell you, or it's just like the cost of stuff. You know, what was it he said? Those cattle, was it 25 cattle he had or something like that? And basically he'd invested something like £240,000 in 25 cattle. All right, that is initial. Those expenses will come down as you produce more and more. It's an input, and yes, it's an input he can afford that I can't and most other farmers can't, but I think he acknowledges that as well. He's honest about it, yeah, he can afford it, and yeah, he has got the media backing or the public backing, a lot of it. I mean, some people hate him. He is a bit Marmite. You like him or loathe him, but I got a lot of time for Mr. Clarkson because he says a lot of things that I think. A lot of things. And he says a lot of things a lot of farmers think. We'll deny it. Oh, we would never think about doing that to a badger. No, no, poor little lovely fluffy creature. No, no, we think it. We think it. So I think he's making a real go of it. I think he's actually genuinely trying to do it. I think Caleb is an asset to the farm, as is Charlie and as Lisa. I think the whole thing has become a little bit of a social media circus, but if he's using that circus for good and highlighting some of the issues that the rest of us have and don't have the platform to highlight that, yeah, I think that's a good thing. So as far as his planning is concerned, obviously the village is not very fond of him. And for that, he's probably bought some of that on himself. Probably. Not definitely, but probably. But I think the district council have missed a trick there. One, they've allowed him to make a complete mockery of the council, because it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. Public opinion of that council and that planning department is going to be, what a bunch of morons. I mean, Clarkson called them morons. What was it? Every village has one. I have 6. I mean, is he wrong? I mean, there's always more than one in every village. I think every village having one is probably, you know, generous. 6, he may have underestimated that. Sorry, Chidley, Chadwick, whatever you're called, but you know what? I cannot see, all right, I only see, the only part of the story I know is Clarkson's side of it and from the TV and whatever else, but it's not just Jeremy, it's also other folks in the village that he's spoken to, and even some of the councillors. And I've seen posts on Facebook and everything from other councillors who think that the district council there have really missed a trick. They're complaining now. They actually put up a post on their, was it West Oxford District Council? They put a post on their Facebook page yesterday asking people to be very careful about parking, because, and not to park on the A road because it was dangerous, blah, 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 because Clarkson only has a small car park. Yeah, there's a reason for that, blokes, or folks, it was because that's what you would allow him to. So they are literally cutting off their nose to spite their own face. They're possibly harming other small farmers, because it's not just Clarkson. I mean, he's actually trying to form a cooperative with other farmers and help everybody else out, help the community out. I mean, it beggars belief, really. I'm controlling myself, not using naughty language like he does, but where's the harm in somebody with a bit of get up and go, trying to make something of his business, bearing in mind that all of our subsidies that the EU used to give farmers, they're all going. I mean, these subsidies that our government promised to keep going for us, I don't think they're going to. I think we've lost it, and it's all going to be tied, no, our subsidies are a case of, yes, we'll give you some money, but you've got to get rid of all your wheat and your corn, you've got to plant trees. Well, in 20 years' time, when everybody's bloody starving, and they're going, well, actually, you've got to dig up all the trees and plant wheat. It's really short-sighted, really short-sighted. Our population is not getting any lower, it's getting higher. Anyway, my opinion is the council should really take a good stiff look at themselves and go, actually, what is our problem? Is it bias? Is it envy? Is it just that we don't like the bloke? Is that what it is? And for that, we're going to refuse half a dozen other farms a way to make a living, 50 locals a job, you know. You could employ a load of young people that maybe they could afford to buy a house locally. You know, they haven't got to go off into Oxford or wherever else to work and live. Really short-sighted. Really short-sighted. So, yeah. I think the council's just a fucking joke, to be honest. Right. Me getting on my soapbox isn't getting the job done, is it? So. Anyway, Jeremy, all I'll say to you, mate, is you've made some mistakes. Actually, you've made a couple of whoppers recently, but you're only human, and you say what most of us think. Don't care what anybody says. The things that you say are what most of us think, and I'm talking about all of it. It's just that today's world, you're not allowed to say it, okay, because you might offend somebody. So, all right for the district council to offend somebody if they want, because they're, you know, narrow-minded, envious, stupid, nonsensical. I need to go and get a dictionary because there's many, many words to describe that council. Yeah, short-sighted. All right, it's coming. Right, that's everything down here sorted out until after lunch. We're upon it to get all excited again.